Collectible curators.
Sup, all you collectors all over the world. Welcome to the first KCKC podcast. We're going to talk about a little more than just HeroClix, as much as we love these beautiful little things here. We're going to talk about everything else. Talk about movies, talk about games, talk about TV shows, talk about comic books, talk about real books, talk about what we did over the weekend. I don't know, whatever. We're just going to talk.
We'll talk about basically what we did this summer. What did you do last summer?
Oh, there you go.
So, excellent. I'm Cam.
I'm Keegan, again with the KCKC, Collectible Curators. And yeah, why don't we pop it off with some movies. Any movies lately you've seen, Cam?
Latest movie I have seen is It.
It.
Being a kid from the 80s, it was really excited to see it, of course, because I love the original made-for-TV one. I've read the book when I was younger, so I was really excited for this reboot, and as far as I'm concerned, it's definitely one of the best reboots I've ever seen in my life. I like how they did it. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but you know, they basically just do the first half of it with the kids' story and stuff like that. The second half will include the adults and stuff like that for It 2 or It Part 2, however they name it.
Actually, probably a good point. We should just probably blanket statement, spoiler alert for any movies and TV shows we talk about here.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to talk about it all. So I'll put a little timestamp to link to when we stop talking about movies, and we'll move on to games and stuff after that. But yeah, I loved it. I actually saw the original first, or sorry, the new one first, and then the original like that weekend.
My copy.
His copy, borrowed it from him. I had seen it before. I've seen a few online reviews and meme videos and stuff of like Tim Curry going ha 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 because he's Woody Woodpecker. But other than that, didn't know a whole lot about the story, so it was great going in. I wouldn't say it's really scary in like the creepy like The Ring kind of like mess with your brain quite as much. You can kind of guess what's going on.
The parts that really creeped me out were the parts that weren't in the original movie. So they redid some scenes, added some stuff. So when that stuff kind of happened, because I wasn't expecting it, then I found it to be really cool and creepy. There were some things near the end that I was still left me wondering. I hope they explain why everything's floating. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
After they stop floating?
Yeah, what happens after they stop floating. So yeah, they all float down here.
No, the giant clown was definitely terrifying.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it was just like in a jump scare, like it's coming at you kind of.
But a good use of special effects, and they didn't look overly cheesy, which was good about it.
It was really beautiful, and then the original too. I'd never seen that before, and I definitely see how it was scary back then. It was just kind of funny looking at it now. But again, it had some real twisted, creepy elements to it, and
clowns are just creepy.
Clowns are creepy no matter what you do, and I think that's one thing that horror as a genre kind of has like a spectrum of like absolutely terrifying to just like mind-messingly creepy. Yeah. And you can be anywhere across that really, but this is definitely away from the to me personally, not like gonna give me nightmares quite the same way some other horror movies might. But
I love horror movies, so I'll just sit and watch whatever new is on Netflix and just all by myself in the basement. I'm all good with it. I just always trying to scare myself.
Yeah, so. It's good. It's good. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen It yet, we definitely recommend that. Both the original and the new one. I need to read the book probably still at this point. That might mess with my brain a little more. Yeah, long and weird, and I've heard some things that were left out of the movie that are in the book that are kind of weird.
It's a much easier read than the first Lord of the Rings book, though.
Well, there you go. I've read all Lord of the Rings, so if I can get through that, yeah, I can get through anything.
What other movies are you excited for, Keegan?
Excited for? Well, I was talking about things I've seen.
Okay.
I've only got one other movie I've seen lately, though. That was
So he hasn't seen Wonder Woman. I'm going to point that out.
Nerd cred just right out the window.
He bought it. He hasn't watched it yet.
It's on my kitchen table right now.
So, I'm excited to watch it again.
Waiting until my wife graduates and we'll watch it together, and she'll.
That sounds so bad.
Right. she's an adult. She's graduated college. But yeah, I don't want to distract her while she's doing her last bit of homework stuff there. But the other movie I've seen recently that I loved quite a bit, it's a month or two old now, but it's the animated Teen Titans Judas Contract DC movie that I really love. I love the Judas Contract storyline. I love how they kind of tied it into the animated Teen Titans series back like 10, 15 years ago, whatever that was now. Man, that's a long time ago that animated series ran that I'm suddenly feeling old about. But Nightwing's always my favorite. Dick Grayson's amazing. So it was cool seeing the storyline with Nightwing kind of leading the Teen Titans, but not anymore because he's left and Starfire is leading them. But with another Robin also having Damian Wayne in that mix was kind of nice. But still, the Terra Deathstroke kind of weird romance thing is there, and it's just as weird as it was in the comic, if not weirder, because in the comic I'm not sure if they really put her age out as much, but she looks like she's like 13 in the animated series. So Slade Wilson's gone total
waiting to graduate.
Yeah, a little longer of a wait for Slade there. But no, Judas Contract is an amazing read.
The DC movies in general, like the animated movies, are just awesome. And if you haven't checked out any of them, definitely check them out. A lot of them are on Netflix, those types of things. But they are awesome.
I haven't seen the newest one yet, Batman and Harley Quinn, I think it's called. And it's
no, I haven't seen that either.
It's not in the same universe as they've kind of created with these other animated movies, from what I've seen. It's got different voice actors, different art style. It almost looks like it's trying to borrow from Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
Because like Nightwing looks like that, Batman looks like that, but Harley Quinn has more like the New 52 costume on, which doesn't quite match the rest of the universe.
Yeah, my favorite one is Flashpoint.
Flashpoint's really good.
That's good.
But in this one too, she's also, because it's been Tara Strong voicing Harley Quinn and like everything for forever. It's I forget the actress's name, but it's Bernadette from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, really?
And it does not fit from the trailer that I've seen. I don't like it. I'm gonna watch it because I will watch any animated thing DC puts out.
Yeah.
I even liked the majority of Killing Joke. I get the beginning was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
I just watched it again the other night too, and it's just the beginning.
I like having a Batgirl.
If you've seen it, you know what we're talking about.
The Batgirl story is great.
Yeah.
And it's cool having something actually focus on her, because so much has been like Batgirl and Batman, and then it's all about Batman and she's just kind of there. Or like Batgirl and Nightwing, and it's all about Nightwing and she's just hanging out. So having a story just about her was great, but the weird stalkery sex scene thing was kind of bizarre.
It took away some of her strength as an individual, powerful woman, I felt. But
yeah, and it's not the first time in the universe, in like comics and stuff, that Batman and Batgirl have gotten together. So everybody that has the like, oh, he's like her dad argument. Yeah. But it's not the first time, so...
Commissioner Gordon, daddy issues?
I mean, yeah, if your dad was a cop, too, I'm sure you'd have pretty bad daddy issues. Especially in Gotham City.
Yeah, for sure.
2 moms and a brother who's a serial killer.
Yeah.
But that's another story altogether. But, yeah, it was weird. I think they could have done it better, so she wasn't quite so, like... teenage girl stalker in love with her hero, kind of. It could have been an actual romance, not like a one-night stand for Bruce, but... people still probably would have complained just if it was in there at all. But the rest of Killing Joke...
Where was Dick and all that?
At what point?
In that point.
In Killing Joke, they didn't really pay attention to Dick at all. But I know there's one scene from a comic a couple of years ago where, like, it's specifically Dick talking to Bruce, and Bruce is like, oh, I hear Barbara's pregnant, congratulations. And Dick's like, yeah, she's... like 7 months pregnant, and Bruce is like, oh, that's super cool, and Dick's like,
yeah, I heard about that.
I've been gone for the last 8 or something, and Bruce is just like, oops. So it looks super weird. So at that point he was in Bloodhaven, I think, but yeah, in this point I don't think Dick was even in that animated series or the Killing Joke movie. I think it was just Bruce and Barbara. I should watch it again, though. It has been a little while since I watched it. I watched it as soon as it came out. But, yeah, any other movies you've seen lately? Or are we going to jump straight to the future?
No, I think we should jump to the future. Superhero movies coming out. 2 big ones.
2 big ones.
Yeah.
Two big ones?
Yeah. Thor.
Oh, Thor! Yeah! That's the one that comes out sooner.
Get your brain off DC.
I was just all up for Justice League. That's a couple months away still. But Thor coming out in just
Thor
a few
Ragnarok.
weeks now, right?
Yeah, so really excited for it. I enjoy the other Thor movies a lot. I think it will be good. Just...
What was your thought on Dark World? Because that one...
I love Dark World. Dark World to me, like, I don't know why, and it was something like with watching it, I felt it was like at the time like it would have made even a good like Superman story. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking in my mind at the time of watching it. But I like Dark World. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought I don't know.
Better than Suicide Squad.
That's fair. I think Dark World to me still feels like the weakest of the whole Marvel universe. But
no, Iron Man 3 is the weakest of the whole universe.
I put the two of them really close together.
Iron Man 3 is awful.
Iron Man 3 might be worse. But Thor 2, I think. Or Thor, yeah.
Personal opinion, of course, right? So.
Thor 2, I don't know. It just... Something about it wasn't quite as... I don't know. Thor 1 was super sweet. I liked them coming back and forth. I liked having all the warriors there. There were some really cool scenes in Thor 2. Like, I do love when they're in Asgard and they're on their spaceships that are like Asgardian magic or whatever, and they're chasing Loki and, Fandral, I think is the guy's name, played by Chuck, because they got a different actor in the second movie. Chuck from the TV show Chuck, not any other, I don't know, whatever Chuck might bring to your mind. I forget the actor's name as well. I'm bad with names sometimes. Mm-hmm. But that seems really sweet. They got like the fight scene chase going on down the Rainbow Road. I don't know, Malekith just seemed like he could have been a more terrifying villain. I kind of felt similar with Guardians of the Galaxy with Ego.
I felt the same.
That he, as much as he was this big, all-powerful villain, he could have done a lot more scary things. Like, I guess Malekith was at least trying to implode reality. Ego was just like, yeah, I planted some plants and they're going to take over shit and they killed your mom. And then that was when he was evil.
Yeah. And I like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It was good, but I felt it was just trying so hard to be the first one still, too.
Without nearly as exciting of a villain. Because, Ronan was terrifying.
Yeah, he was, totally.
Like, he was straight up just murdering people. And
sorry my pronunciation, Malekith. No. How do you pronounce it?
Who?
The
Malekith. The Dark Elf.
Yeah, Dark Elf. Malekith is definitely a lot more powerful than Ronan. I think, as far as what I can remember.
They both got an Infinity Gem.
I have not read a lot of Thor, to be honest. So
no, they both got an Infinity Gem with them. It's just depending which Infinity Gem. Because one's
Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry.
Yeah. One's trying to destroy a planet. The other one's trying to just warp all of reality on top of itself.
Okay.
So, technically equally powerful just based on gem. If they just went toe-to-toe to a fight, I don't really know if a Kree warlord versus a Dark Elf...
That's a good question. Who would win?
There you go. Answer in the comments down below, guys. Give us a little fight. Dark Elf Malekith versus Kree Ronan. Mm-hmm. I don't know nearly enough about either of them.
I don't either.
But it'll be cool. I like that. That's especially as two villains that are both okay. We went on a massive tangent though. Thor looks super cool. All the trailers.
Yeah, Hulk, of course. It's going to be cool.
Awesome. I'm excited to see that. Valkyrie will be pretty cool to see. I've heard some complaints about the costume, but that always just, I don't know, people say it's the costume, but then they cast a darker skinned actress and people get mad, so I think that's just random angriness there that is totally unjustified. Because, if she's the best actress for the job, she looks cool. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, so I can't really judge until I've seen the movie.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out.
Loki, I'm always glad to have him. That's one thing I think even the last couple of Avengers movies almost felt like they were missing. I know he was in both Thors and Avengers 1, but even in Thor 2, him just being there and not being the villain totally, but not really being that helpful also, is just super entertaining. So I'm excited to see him in this too, trying to help just because he wants Asgard back, but also he doesn't like Thor, so there might be some animosity and some fighting there. Is there a fourth person? That's Thor. Oh yeah, Thor, Hulk, Loki, and Valkyrie. That's the four.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the villain is Helya? No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I was gonna say Hel, but that's technically the male Norse mythology, not the female comic book. But technically the same character, I think.
I think she'll be a lot better than Enchantress from Suicide Squad.
Yeah. We're just gonna go back to Suicide Squad, aren't we? That needed a better villain, honestly. I think that would have been so much better even if Joker was the villain. The fact that Enchantress was like the good guy and then was the bad guy and then, I don't know. That would have, I think, made it a lot better, just a better villain.
How did they get up the elevator? How?
Oh, when Harley takes the elevator and they just appear up there? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna pick on Suicide Squad.
I didn't notice that. It
don't
totally
like
is
it.
a valid opinion, or a valid complaint.
No.
They just run up the stairs really fast.
So fast.
All 6 of them can run up these stairs faster than Harley Quinn can take an elevator.
I guess if just getting on the way that we're doing this, since it's our first podcast and it's going to be so random. Parts I liked about it. I don't think Will Smith was bad as Deadshot. He was alright.
No, all the characters were fine.
The characters were fine.
Even
Croc
Joker,
was
I thought
cool.
Was great.
No, Joker wasn't. Except Gangster Joker sucks. I've said it.
There you go. I did think they could have toned down the gangsterness a bit.
I did not like
His
it.
appeal, like visually,
It was alright, I guess.
could have been better. But as a character, like especially when he's getting the electroshock therapy going, and like he seemed like a Joker in those scenes. It was the after when I don't think there was enough of him on screen to really be as Joker-y as he could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the like everyone's gonna remember Heath Ledger and the pencil, and that's like the iconic Joker scene there.
Of course.
Oh my God, now I'm blanking on the other guy's name. Jack Nicholson. And the electric joy buzzer when he just like fries that guy. Like those are their 2 iconic Joker scenes, and we just didn't get one of those with Jared Leto. So people have blamed the editing and the writing and all the scenes that they cut out that have supposedly had Joker being just amazing. I don't know. I think that would be more the problem.
Yeah.
As much as the grills and the tattoos I could do without, I didn't mind the suit. I didn't mind the gang and the.
I actually like Colonel Rick Flag too. I think the actor did okay. Not knowing, I haven't read a lot of Suicide Squad either, but from what I know of the character, he seemed pretty decent, and the Amanda Waller character was
Amanda
good.
Waller was amazing.
She was
Viola
good.
Davis is an amazing actress.
Yes.
When we get to TV shows in a couple of minutes, I want to talk about How to Get Away with Murder, because she is in that, and I absolutely love that show, and she is goddamn terrifying. That woman has like the power that can just steal the screen.
Mm-hmm.
She's wonderful.
All right, so let's talk about the last movie that we are excited for is Justice League.
Justice League, of course.
I don't know if there's. Let's start off with getting into where Justice League came from in the aspect of. So we've had our. There's the short scene of Batman in Suicide Squad. There's and then Batman versus Superman versus Batman, and then Man of Steel. That kind of led us to this.
Started it all
Wonder
off.
Woman, all that kind of stuff. So. Man of Steel and Superman versus Batman. I am a huge Superman fan. By no means do I think the movies are perfect, but I do like them.
Yeah.
And I do like Henry Cavill's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he makes a very strong Superman. I understand, especially the problematic parts where he doesn't really save anyone really in Man of Steel compared to what we expect out of a Superman. They tried to make a bit of amends to that in his portrayal in Batman vs. Superman. I just don't think they really gave him the time frames that were appropriate. There's definitely stuff I didn't care for too. I didn't care for I really didn't like any of the Jonathan Kent scenes and stuff from them. But
No.
we'll see.
And the hurricane.
Yeah, we'll just see how everything plays out. We know Superman's coming back in some aspect. I really hope it's not, a Luke Skywalker ending from
where Superman's just standing there with a beard.
Force Awakens is standing there, you know.
How great would that be if
just
like
pulls off a cloak wearing a black Superman suit.
Batman just like walks up a hill in the middle of an island in the middle of an ocean, holding on to like
Star Wars ending.
Actually, if anything, they should do it with like Hal Jordan and have Batman be like holding a green ring, and there's just this random actor we've never seen before, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" Hal Jordan, green ring. I got yellow on, but I'll take it. Close enough. Yeah, Batman vs Superman. I didn't hate Lex Luthor as much as most people did. I do think he was weird and different. I think if anything, part of the problem with Superman, and it's kind of just the way the movies are all put together, is when we get like the comics and the stories and like animated series as on our brains about them leading up to this hero.
Yeah.
It always starts with like, oh, person stuck in a tree, fire, building on fire, bank robberies, and then eventually it's some megalomaniac villain starts getting bigger and stronger and meaner and has a grudge, and then we get to like Lex Luthor with giant robots, or you know, Doomsday is like years down the road after Superman's made a place for himself and saved the people from little bumps and scrapes and car crashes. But there's not enough time to do that in the movie, because as soon as you try to make time for that, you end up with Fantastic Four, where suddenly you've got the Fantastic Four in the middle of the street, holding a car, and Jessica Alba's just naked in the middle of the street because she's invisible, and like those weird scenes that like add to the character development technically, but take up half the damn movie and nobody needed to see them. They kind of work in the Spider-Man movies just because even that they do it a little quicker, but still it's like...
We didn't really talk about Homecoming either.
Yeah, because I've seen Homecoming.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen Homecoming.
I haven't seen Homecoming yet either. It's not even on DVD yet, or Blu-ray. Soon. I'll get on.
We'll talk about Homecoming once Keegan has seen it.
Next month I'll have more movies to talk about, I guess.
But yeah, getting back to Justice League.
Yeah, I'm excited for Cyborg. I love to see Cyborg on the big screen. Looks super sweet to see that. Flash, I'm still iffy on the costume. The armored plating looks a little weird to me, especially...
Yeah.
I don't know. The idea that it's this kid that just kind of learned he had powers... I think in the TV show it's a little overdone that it has to be this like friction-resistant suit that he needed to wear, or else it closes would burst into flames. Which, by the way, in the last 2 seasons, there's been an awful lot of him running around without the friction-resistant suit.
Okay, there are a lot of issues.
Or like carrying Iris, and nobody bursts into flames.
No, and just in general, how come he gets hit so much?
Yeah,
he gets hit by every single villain.
He should be way too fast.
He's involved with it. They just somehow can like magically know exactly where he's going.
The one I loved was when he was chasing Gorilla Grodd through the street, and somehow Gorilla Grodd was able to like run at the same speed as the Flash.
Yeah.
It's just he was running gorilla style, and Flash was a bolt of lightning that was really slow for a bolt of lightning.
Yeah. We can talk about Flash later. But yeah.
Yeah, Ezra Miller seems super funny. I like the few scenes we've seen of him in the trailers. I love the one scene of him on the roof with the Justice League and Gordon.
Yeah, he's going to be the comic relief. I still think it's strange. They're doing the whole Tony Stark Spider-Man thing though, and it's like
to a point, yeah.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen it, but that's what it looks like. You know, especially that whole in Flash's lair scene, catching the Batarang stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
You don't know who I am.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, because the whole thing is like Barry Allen's supposed to be, you know,
but he's just this like,
well, not a cop, but a CSI but forensic detective kind of thing. So,
but suddenly he's built this armor-plated suit that just. You know, whatever, all those armor.
No. Bruce Wayne bought it.
Then why is he wearing it in Suicide Squad?
Well, we don't know where that timeline comes into factor, right?
I
guess. No, I'm making a joke towards like you know Tony Stark by making Spider-Man.
Yeah, because at least the Spider-Man that made sense that when he's alone, he's got like he's taking a hoodie and some pajama pants and sewed them together with some goggles and.
So hopefully that, but I don't want that, because if it is Bruce Wayne buying that suit, making that suit, then it's exactly the Tony Stark story, and that would be stupid. So I don't know how they're going to play this in.
They can't win.
It's just I just think it was the wrong way to go about it. But that's just me overanalyzing because I also love Flash.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, and I know they're planning on doing Flashpoint for the Flash movie.
Yeah, which
So, are they going to...
I'm almost tired of that storyline now. Like, the comic was cool, the animated movie was great, but after we have both of those, they did like a twist of it in the animated, or in the live action series.
Yeah, which wasn't done right.
It wasn't done quite as insane as it could have been, but they didn't have enough characters to make it that insane.
Yeah.
There's a few little like hints in the background. Like there's a hint, I think either it was somebody talking about it or it's actually in the show. I can't remember now if this is real, but somebody was talking about how no, I think it's on a news report how Oliver Queen died in a boat accident and his father is now in Star City back, and suddenly there's this vigilante killing people. So it's got the same kind of like Batman, Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne thing. But it was 2 episodes. They couldn't dive into that enough. So again and again, depending on how the movie is, if they announce when Flash is, because unless there's enough movies between Justice League and Flash to really get us to know like Cyborg, Aquaman, Green Lantern, if he even exists, if we know, and maybe even another Superman movie, we're gonna barely know these characters.
Yeah.
And be sent to an alternate dimension where they're all different.
I don't think a Cyborg movie could hold up.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's enough.
He almost needs to be their Hulk, where he doesn't have a solo movie anymore. It's just him hanging out with other people.
It'd have to be, because it's just, and it gets to the point there's just too many characters, right?
Has he had a solo? He must have had a solo comic series around. I just only ever know him with Teen Titans.
So
I don't know
Justice League.
And Justice League.
Yeah, I only know him with Justice League because I haven't read a lot of Teen Titans. You've kind of just gotten me into Teen Titans.
Yeah, I don't know if he had any cyborg villains that I can think of.
No, I don't know.
Everybody, like Aquaman's clearly got Black Manta.
If you can fill us on some good cyborg stuff.
Yeah, any cyborg experts out there? Who's Cyborg's nemesis besides Magnus?
With the Justice League fights.
Besides metal detectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, all in all...
Who's the crime syndicate cyborg?
Grid,
that's right. Okay.
who instead of being like he this same sort of replacing his body parts that were damaged with robotic parts, but then Grid decided to go farther and replaced all of his human parts. It was completely robot.
Yes.
And partially the Bat computer, I think, or the Owl computer for Owlman.
Is it? I don't remember.
I don't know, whatever, something like that.
I've only read a bit of Crime Syndicate, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Justice League looks sweet. Steppenwolf, I think, he looks cool. I think he might be too obscure of a villain for some things, though.
Are they leading up to Darkseid?
I think that's the plan, but I don't know. Darkseid right away seems too soon. But I don't know, besides Steppenwolf or without like making that kind of stepping stones.
I always wonder too, because we have a fairly decent knowledge because of our knowledge of comic books and stuff, but what do the people that have no knowledge of that think about these movies, you know?
Exactly. That's why I almost wonder if it would have been better if they did all these other movies first, like did Aquaman first, did Flash first, did a Green Lantern movie first, and then if the Justice League villain was the Doom, Legion of Doom, or the Secret Society of Supervillains, or whatever you want to call them, and have like Joker, Lex Luthor, Sinestro, Black Manta, Cheetah, and have it then be like one-on-one to the Justice League. Yeah.
Well, they are planning for Black Manta in...
Yeah,
Aquaman,
exactly.
Right?
But it would have been great to have all those lead together and
the
villains create a team.
Yeah.
Because then the end credit sequence for each of them could be like Lex Luthor going around Nick Fury style, being like, Black Manta, I've got a secret mission for you. I'd like you to join my team. Joker, I'd like you to join my team.
Joker won't.
I mean, if he wants to go Batman, he's teamed up with Lex tons of times to help try to kill Batman. And he's in the Legion of Doom. He's helped out with Society of Supervillains. I mean, if you don't want Joker, you could throw in Croc, you could throw in Deadshot.
Yeah, they could throw in
either one of them would be pretty fantastic. But, that depends on where they are and if they're in Suicide Squad 2.
Please no. We don't need it.
No. That's the nice thing with the comics for Suicide Squad 2 is there's never actually been like...
But they won an Emmy or Oscar or whatever.
Yeah, for
makeup.
Best makeup. But they never really had a villain per se. Like the best Suicide Squad book that I remember reading, like they had a couple Justice League tie-ins and they took part in Forever Evil and some other of those big events. But in the beginning of the New 52, there was a 3 or 4 comic run where they had to go into a football stadium, I think it was, where some terrorists, actually ISIS level terrorists, this wasn't like super villains, this was like ISIS but in comic form, terrorists that put like a biohazard bomb and it was gonna turn everybody in this football arena into zombie mutant fighting creatures or something. And it was just the government locked the place down. They had it on complete biohazard lockdown tent and everything. Suicide Squad was secretly put in. Nobody could see that they went in, or else the government would go crazy, because the government in the comics don't know anything about the Suicide Squad. And their goal was to go in there, kill any mutants, stop the bomb, killing terrorists, and nobody see anybody else and escape. And that was way more interesting than, oh, there's some evil witch and she's on your team, but poof, now she's going to kill everybody and she's not on your team anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. But also you couldn't really make that a movie without knowing the characters, because that was the best part about the Suicide Squad in the comics, was its characters that we've seen fight the good guys for years. They threw in a few new guys here and there you didn't know as much, but you were interested in them because of how they were reacting to Deadshot, to Harley Quinn, to Firefly, to Captain Boomerang. You don't even need to like Captain Boomerang. He's an interesting, weird dude. But how does he like hanging out with, King Shark or, whatever. So
I feel like we've talked about Suicide Squad too much.
We could go all the way back to it. Whatever. This is what podcasts are. We just talk what we want to talk about.
Exactly.
We talked about movies for a while, though.
Justice League. Excited.
Got other things I want to see soon. I haven't seen Kingsman yet. Kingsman 2 just came out. That looks super sweet. I've heard some pretty good things already.
First one was okay, except for the
sex scene was a little weird.
Inappropriate joke at the end.
I feel like I've heard there's another weird sex scene that people are calling inappropriate in this other one, so it's kind of just the style, I guess. But Mark Millar's always had some weird stuff in his books. I've never read Kingsman. I should probably get those comics. They don't have them here. I've been staring over there to the Moon Knight comic I need to pick up, I think. What's that? Oh, look, Kingsman. But that's the new one based off the movie. There's like a Kingsman graphic novel because it's written by the same guy as Kick-Ass.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's in the Millar-verse, or whatever they call those.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I like Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass is good. I do hope they make Kick-Ass 3 the movie. I don't think they will anymore, though.
I doubt they will.
But Kick-Ass 3 was a really good book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, what else is good and new coming out? John Wick 2? Is that one's out already or out soon? I don't even know.
First one was okay.
First one's pretty good. I like John Wick a lot. Baby Driver, that one looks sweet. I need to check that one out still. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. It's,
I don't know. I'm on a weird action movie kick lately. I watched Hardcore Henry on Netflix not too long ago.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. But yeah, that's all I got for movies.
Yeah, for TV kind of stuff, I'm finally catching up on Rick and Morty, so I'm only finishing season 2, so I can get into season 3. Love Rick and Morty, that's fun. I watch a lot of my Netflix series and stuff like that, kind of keep up on those. So. Defenders.
Yeah,
Defenders was good. It was alright.
I do think
my negative point on that is Iron Fist was pretty annoying. Iron Fist. The rest of it was great. Jessica Jones was my favorite for the Netflix releases. The first Daredevil's amazing. I like Luke Cage a lot more than some of my friends like Luke Cage. I love the character development in all these. And I was really excited for Defenders, and I thought it was really well done. Just Danny Rand, man, you're kind of annoying.
It sucks too, because in the comics, at least the comics that I've read, I haven't read a lot of his early stuff, so maybe he's a little more developed as a character. But he always seems so like peaceful and down to earth. And I don't know if you've seen the animated Ultimate Spider-Man series. No. They've got the same actor that voiced Beast Boy in the Teen Titans series voicing him, but he's all like mellow and surfer dude and like, yo, I'm Iron Fist, guys.
Oh, I might have seen a couple episodes now. I think
he's like he's in touch with everyone's chi, and he's like kind of a hippie, but he's ready to kick ass when he's gotta, but he's able to like calmly talk everyone down. And when Nova and Spider-Man are like Beacon, he's just like, guys, like, level yourselves. And it's like, I don't know, it's that's the Iron Fist that I remember seeing, even in like, I've read a few of the Iron Fist comics where he's fighting different hand ninjas and whatever else here and there. He had a huge part in the Avengers vs. X-Men, where he had to teach Hope Summers how to punch the Phoenix to death, which was pretty sweet. But even there, he was just like this mystical teacher, and he helps out a lot. And Civil War, when he's pretending to be Daredevil, he's just kind of there. He's never as pompous and dumb and arrogant as he is in the animated or in the Netflix series.
It's like undeserved arrogance, though, because it kind of came from like nowhere. Like even just maybe it was the writing style of Iron Fist, the way it came out. Because when he first got to the city, you know, he was calm and everything. It was like as soon as he got the money, he instantly changed. That's just the way I felt. But like, and
he kind of forgot all of his teachings on
everything
too. Because like, if he's been there for so many years, he should be like fully monked out. But it's just everything. And I get that it's this social awkwardness of like, I'm the immortal Iron Fist, and like he says that all the damn time, which is annoying to us, but as a character trait, I kind of understand it. If he's, you know, he was what?
But he goes against his values.
But yeah, if he's not,
and maybe that's why they did it. Maybe he's, you know, he just not mature because he was been lost all
He's kind of got like Kimmy Schmidt therapy or something.
Yeah.
But it's funny with Kimmy Schmidt.
It is kind of funny with Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, no, it's Defenders. I think Iron Fist was the worst part. As much as they kind of needed him to tie the whole hand storyline together, I do like how it came right off of Daredevil Season 2, which I didn't think was nearly as good as Daredevil Season 1. But
no.
It's all wrapped up now nicely with how they ended with 1 into Daredevil and
Elektra and all that stuff.
Defenders.
Yeah, Daredevil Season 2, first part with Punisher, awesome. Second part with Elektra, meh.
Less awesome, yeah.
But,
and then end when Daredevil or when Punisher comes back, awesome again. Punisher series looks good.
Yeah.
I haven't so much of that yet, but
yeah, I'm enjoying the actor. No. I forget his name right now, but and I don't want to just say Shane from Walking Dead, but you know, he's awesome. So.
Yeah. Jessica Jones, even in Defenders, I really loved her. She was just as funny and weird, and her interaction with Luke, with their like awkward breakup romance. I hope kind of that they eventually get back together, because
I hope so.
They're married in most of the comics.
Yeah. Well, and I've read a bunch of the new Avengers stuff, and yeah, it's really good.
They're just funny, cute, awkward couple. Her interaction with Daredevil and Matt is super sweet. Often he grabs the scarf and their Beacon, and oh, you look stupid. Well, it's your scarf. Or you know, her following some blind guy and taking pictures of him. Like, it's just, them meeting up is perfect. That episode where they all just like show up in the office building and like, hey Luke, who's this? Oh, some kid. Oh, who's that? My lawyer. And they just start kicking ass. Like, that was good. And the fight scenes were awesome. As always, the fight scenes are always the best parts of the shows.
Yeah, they do them so well. And just like everyone's got their purpose and their ability. And
never meet the Defenders in a hallway. I'll tell you what. Hallways, they will mess you up. Daredevil's gonna throw a microwave at your head and something. But
well, I like the Daredevil. Like, I just the way they did Matt Murdock, and just the guy can take a punch, and I love it. It's really well done.
And I think that he makes such a relatable hero at that point, because he gets beat the heck up and he's just a regular dude, but he knows how to get back up and keep on punching. And
regular dude that can't see.
Yeah, which is somehow better off for him. And Luke was awesome again as well. He was funny in the show. I love his interactions too with his not wanting to swear and still just being a horn dog, always wanting for some hot coffee. But yeah, Defenders is good. Hoping for a good season 2. I think Jessica Jones season 2 comes out next, most recently. Either that or maybe Punisher. Because we haven't seen any trailers for Jessica yet, just Punisher trailers.
So and then we got all the CW shows coming out here soon. So we got Flash coming back out, and we got Supergirl and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow.
Are you caught up on all of those for last season?
I'm caught up on everything but Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. Okay. I couldn't get into Legends of Tomorrow myself. I really like Supergirl, but maybe that's just because I'm a Superman guy. So I'm and I like Flash. Regardless of the things that I talked about earlier that annoy me about the series, I still like it. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Getting into these next seasons and stuff. The new show's starting up. Inhumans. We'll see how that does.
Reviews so far
are not good. From what I've seen, doesn't really hold up to what I was expecting, especially Black Bolt.
I mean, the Inhumans are interesting characters, but again, I feel like they're not quite as well known.
But aren't they doing like a Black Lightning series or something, or what?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a tie-in to
like CW stuff, isn't it?
Arrow they're bringing in Black Lightning, which at this point they're. Well, I guess that's the same argument. Is that with Inhumans they're banking off people like the Avengers, they'll like whatever we put out. So they're hoping, if we liked Arrow, they'll like whatever we put out. But the difference there being, Black Lightning is probably going to appear in Arrow or Flash first, and then get his own show. Whereas the Inhumans, you've heard a few mentions of them in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and suddenly there's this giant army which is not connected to any of the Inhumans that we've met in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Black Bolt and, Lockjaw, and whatever else that, people don't know anything about there.
And I don't know a lot about them either. Like, I haven't read a lot of Inhumans or anything like that. I've looked into a little bit just out of pure curiosity. A lot of it, actually, the reason why I looked into it was because of HeroClix and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it does. There's the other show, too, that XMen show coming out.
Gifted or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the Gifted or whatever.
That one looks interesting. I haven't actually. I need to watch more of that last X-Men show that came out about Xavier's son. It was on Showcase.
No, I never saw it.
Wow. I can't remember the... Legion. No. Legion? Gotta Google
it. He's gotta Google it.
Google it. But it was...
Break out the Google machine.
It was about the guy in a...
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember it either. But I never watched it. Looking forward to...
Watch one episode. Yeah, Legion. Okay, it's called Legion.
Legion, yeah.
Where he's in an insane asylum and he's a mutant, but nobody knows he's a mutant. And I don't think it's connected to any other X-Men things. And I'm not going to say in the TV show that he's Xavier's son. But in the comics, he's
in our typical jumping around fashion, because this is our first time ever doing one of these things, I just want to talk briefly about Logan. I really liked Logan. So Logan was beautiful, beautiful movie. That's all we need to say.
That's all we need to say for that. Yeah. See, Legends of Tomorrow. You say that one's the one you couldn't get into. Oddly enough, that one's been my favorite lately. I don't know, because Arrow, I'm kind of getting tired of the him and Felicity on and off romance. Ever since Roy Harper left, his team's been kind of meh. I was really excited about Ragman, actually, last season, and then they just, ruined his cloak, and now he's useless and gone.
I enjoyed the crossover episodes, though.
Crossovers are always amazing.
Those were really good.
Flash was sweet, but again, I almost feel like it worked him having a team at the beginning to get him started, but he's kind of a solo character for the most part. I know he's got, Vibe's awesome. I love the guy playing Cisco. I'm almost a little tired of the Harrison Wells. Is he good? Is he bad? Which one is he? Oh my god, there's another one.
Yeah.
Back and forth thing. As much as I love Tom Cavanaugh, wouldn't mind seeing him maybe off the show. apparently Draco Malfoy is gone this season, which was kind of weird. He's just kind of came out of nowhere for a season and left. But Flash, even this, I don't know, Savitar. He was an okay villain.
Alchemy, says me.
Yeah, Alchemy and Savitar. But compared to Zoom and Reverse Flash,
I wasn't a fan of the Savitar outfit, and I didn't like the whole concept of it just being the...
Totally called it, by the way, episode 2.
Yeah,
you can talk to my wife. I pointed out the line where he says, "I'm the future Flash," and I'm like, "It's Barry Allen. It's Barry Allen from the future," and he's angry and he's back. Didn't call the clone Speed Force thing. I'll admit that, but I knew it was Barry Allen. Just saying.
I did kind of enjoy though, like the episode where they went and with Gorilla Groot and all that kind of stuff. It changed stuff up, so it was kind of nice to have things a little bit different. What was Vibes girl? Cisco's girl, the
Gypsy.
Gypsy,
I think.
That yeah, I enjoyed her character
reality,
too.
Or the alternate universe police officer. She was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Supergirl, I actually have only seen season 1, and then a couple episodes with like the crossovers for season 2. So I need to catch up on that one. But I've definitely heard it's pretty sweet.
We'll see, and like they brought Superman into it, so we'll see if they bring him back in this next season for some episodes.
Or if he's in the crossover. There's been a few pictures actually up of the new crossover for this season, Crisis on Earth X.
Yeah, I was reading about it.
I love the title. I'm hoping it is as epic as Crisis. All the Crisis comics are. We'll see. They're also bringing the Ray in, I guess, this series.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which, again, another kind of obscure character, but I mean, they brought in Ragman and Wild Dog, and they're cool. So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
But Legends, yeah, I don't know, man. So I don't know if it's time travel. I don't know if it's my huge crush on Sarah Lance, Katie Lotz, my man crush on Arthur Darvill. That is one handsome dude. Plus, huge Doctor Who fan. So I put him on a time machine. I'm sold, man. Like, Arthur Darvill's amazing. Since Captain Cold and Heatwave have kind of been on and off, dead, not dead. Heatwave's still alive, I think. I don't remember now. It's been so long since the finale. But now they're... Spoiler alert, just going to ruin it for you. The end of the finale, after they fight all the bad guys off, they crash land on Earth, and there's dinosaurs! So I don't know. They didn't really say if they are in another universe where dinosaurs are still alive, or if they're suddenly went back in time. Or what's their buildings too? I don't remember now. Maybe there's buildings and dinosaurs. Again, whatever. We'll see where this season takes us. It looks pretty cool. I like.
We're filming this from Drumheller, Alberta, dinosaur capital.
Yeah.
Of the world.
Totally not sponsored. Actually, not sponsored. But if you guys ever want to come see a dinosaur museum, it's here. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Filming from our cute little comic book gaming store, Goblins and such.
Support your local stores. Anything else TV? Recently, I just watched the new season of BoJack Horseman on Netflix. Have you watched BoJack at all?
I watched the first couple seasons, yeah. So.
That is a heart-wrenching show. I love the writing. Everybody's saying Rick and Morty's like the greatest writing show ever.
Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and I get why everybody loves Rick and Morty. I like BoJack more. I don't know. It's just not as bizarre and weird. It's funny. It's relatable.
But it's soul crushing.
And oh my god, as hard as it was to watch the season 3 finale. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't watched it yet, so don't ruin it too much for me.
But
because we can stop spoilers for ourselves at least.
Yeah, we'll not spoil each other. Every finale has been heart-wrenching. Season 3's finale, I just after it ended, I was staring at the "Are you still watching Netflix" thing for 20 minutes, just completely stunned.
Bawling.
No, not bawling, just completely stunned. Season 4, bawling. Those last 2 episodes just took your heart and juiced it into just threw it on the ground and stomped on it. And I'm gonna start crying just thinking about it. Yeah. BoJack, amazing writing. I love all the voice actors. Again, Jesse Pinkman is just beautiful. Who else is amazing in that? I loved that in the new series, or the new season, there's a character you don't know yet, named Woodchuck Berkowitz, who's voiced by the, he's a woodchuck, he's the governor, and he's voiced by the police chief from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
So he's wonderful. Amy, no, not Amy.
So just a deep tone,
just deep
voice.
And he's hilarious because he's got the same sort of comedic timing and some really well-written jokes, but he's just a gruff, no-nonsense woodchuck who just wants to run his state. And then Mr. Peanut Butter decides to run against him.
Okay.
Mr. Peanut Butter's... I don't remember who voices Mr. Peanut Butter, but he's funny. Yeah, all the voice actors and actresses in that are amazing. Mm-hmm. Princess Caroline's wonderful. I love just her. Amy Sudeikis, I think the name is. Sedaris? Something like that. It was Princess Caroline. She's hilarious also in... she's in... Kimmy Schmidt. Another amazing Netflix series. Super funny. What else have I binge watched lately? New season of Archer, where they're all in... back in time and like... Do you watch Archer at all?
I watched a bit of it when it kind of came out. I enjoyed it. It's one of those things that I just... There's so much out there now. It's so hard to watch everything. Sure. So, yeah, no, Archer is one of those things that I hopefully can find some time to catch up on eventually.
The first season I definitely found a little drier. Once you get into it and really like the characters, it's really easy to just keep going. But the new season's all like almost noir, like 50s crime. There's a lot of jokes about like Al Capone and syphilis and like just super cool there.
Mostly for upcoming shows now. Like my biggest show of this last year was Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Stranger Things blew my mind.
Okay, we'll hold that for 1 second because we got to talk a lot about what we liked about Stranger Things and what we're excited about for the new season. Let's talk about one more Netflix series that I know Cam hasn't seen that I do want to recommend, and that is American Vandal. Really awesome, like mockumentary style. It's like an 8-part miniseries about these kids in high school, and one kid gets expelled for allegedly drawing a bunch of dicks on the teachers' cars. And
I've seen the preview for it. It looks like something
it's funny. It takes itself way too seriously, but also in pure like crime documentary, you get really invested in wanting to know who drew the dicks. Hashtag who drew the dicks.
I watched How to Make a Murder. How to Make a Murderer.
Making a Murderer.
Making a Murderer.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched that one yet, but I've seen enough of it to know that it's kind of making fun of that style, but without like, because you can make fun of something and normally it usually dehumanizes what you're mocking, but this doesn't quite. It's not calling like those kind of documentaries stupid in any way. It's just making a mockumentary of people reacting and people judging students that are clearly the bad kid that normally bully people. It's clearly that kid that did the vandalism, but maybe not. You never know. So
I'll check it out.
Check it out. It was super awesome.
You check it out too.
Check it out. Let us know what you think. Stranger Things, amazing. First season, we'll talk about that a little bit because it came out a little while ago and we haven't talked about it at all, and we'll talk about what we want for the new season because kids are all amazing actors. I loved seeing the one guy in It, which actually, back to It just for a second, because that kid played Richie in the new It, who was played by Seth Green in the original It as like a 12-year-old, which is super sweet. You should check that out. Seth Green needs to play Richie in It 2.
That would be brilliant.
Right? Like,
yes, that would be cool.
If this is not already happening, Seth Green, what are you, like, who directed that movie? Who's directing It 2? Just get Seth Green. Oh my god. Anyway.
Greg the Bunny.
Yeah. Greg the Bunny. If you love Seth Green and haven't seen Greg the Bunny, what are you doing with your life? That is his best work of television ever. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I don't care, you know? The seasons without Seth Green I like better than the seasons with him. But Greg the Bunny.
Greg the Bunny.
Robot Chicken, move aside. Greg the Bunny. Stranger Things. Kids are awesome. Police Chief's awesome. The story, it's just so well written. And
let's hope it does the same for season 2. You know, it's Yeah, it was a shocker. It was that type of thing. The everyone needs to see kind of show. For me, I'm a child of the '80s, and it's the nostalgia factor hit me huge. And I'm a sucker for nostalgia stuff, so that's just the way I am. Yeah, it has that wonderful feel of camaraderie within a group. The Goonies feel, everything like the final episodes or final ending of like E.T. Just all those movies. The Explorers, another one of my favorite '80s movies. Just all those great shows we grew up with, and especially me, that I loved and I still do love, and it hit those heart tingly things going on in my chest too with me. So.
And shows too that just like kind of keep you guessing and keep you like you're not totally sure what's happening, but you kind of got some ideas, and you can talk with your friends about why you think the one kid seeing flashes into the two different universes, and why you think he was in like this is what my wife and I talked about when we first saw it. It's like why is it that when the first guy got chased off his bike, that suddenly he was. Like, as he was running, he switched to the other universe. But then when Barb's in the swimming pool, she gets attacked and then is in the other universe, the Upside Down, and then got eaten. And it's like, trying to figure out some of those, like, does he have to be near you to switch you? Or, like, until you actually see it all and know what it's all about.
But what is his connection... Will's connection to it more than any other kid.
Looking now,
there's so much because he's obviously highly connected to the other side. So it'd be really interesting to see how they play that in.
Because they've only really shown that giant silhouette monster thing in the sky. In the sky, that looks like it's in the Upside Down there. So they must have to go back at some point. But the thing that gets me is the one scene in the trailer of Will. Like vomiting black slugs in the sink. My theory, I'm just going to put this out right now, is that if Will is not the main villain, he's going to turn into some sort of monster and be a villain along the way. And they might have to kill Will.
I think so, huh?
I do.
I haven't really thought about it much, and I think I'm enjoying that I haven't thought too much about it. I'm just looking forward to just diving in and...
I always have to come up with theories and thoughts of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I haven't... Well, I do in a lot of shows and stuff like that, but this one I really haven't.
I don't know if we really know enough to make that much of a guess. I'm just... That as soon as I saw him, as like they were ripping the roots out of his mouth and nose and stuff when they saved him in the end of season 1, my first thought was like, oh, something's not right with him. He's going to be... something up, and then they showed that bit in the trailer, the end of last season, and then in the trailers of him vomiting the black slugs and sludge coming out of his face, and him jumping back into the Upside Down. Like, he's connected to the other world for sure. I think he's gonna just like morph that, or he's gonna develop like 11 style psychic powers.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like if you ever played like the first Silent Hill video games, there's a lot of that kind of to and fro, just that back and forth kind of element in those games, and that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, and that weird like I don't know quite what's going on until you get more pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, it'll be good.
I'm really excited. Also, before Stranger Things happened, a friend of mine got an RPG game, good old classic kind of rolling the dice, storytelling. Tale from the Loop is a new RPG that he kickstarted, and we're going to start playing it pretty soon. It's a total Stranger Things style, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of RPG, tabletop, pen and paper adventure. I've made my character. Her name is Eleanor Black. She is a 13-year-old punk rocker. Loves the Ramones. Isn't too popular at school. Her best friend is the guy who runs the arcade. From a single mother family that can't get her stuff together. I'm really looking forward to trying out some of this. It's going to be fun, and just on that whole theme of Stranger Things, and we've got an interesting group of people I'm going to be playing this game with, and we've got kind of a just kind of see how it goes. This Tales from the Loop game seems like where we're playing in the scenario that we're in, it's going to be in the 80s, but it's a world where basically it's a society of where special types of machinery have kind of come to, not to life, but like they've been developed, and it's more of a futuristic kind of society that's kind of apocalyptic from what I gather, but not.
Kind of like a cyberpunk
80s. Kind of 80s, but not that. But yeah. So I'm really excited to play it. Should be really cool. In our typical jumping around fashion, Ready Player One movie. Please be good when you eventually come out. That was the book I read recently that I absolutely love. If you haven't read Ready Player One and you love 80s nostalgia, you need to read that book.
I definitely need to read the book still. Without knowing much about it, just watching the trailer made me feel a little bit too much like they were just saying, how many references to stuff can we throw in?
The book kind of feels like that, but I loved it.
But the trailer didn't show any, like, I know, and that's hard to say too, because a lot of movies lately, the trailer's showing too much of the story, but I feel like there was nothing about what's going on. I know so little about Ready Player One.
But if you read the book, the trailer will totally make sense.
Yeah, but if you've read the book, all you need to know is they're making a Ready Player One movie, and you'll at least be interested in seeing it. The trailer should be to try to get people that have never heard of it or never read it to want to watch the thing. Because all I know about it is there's the Halo assault rifles in it, there's an X-Wing and a TIE Fighter, the Iron Giant,
the
DeLorean, like all those other little references here and there that aren't even all 80s references in the movie, because like the Halo, they got the assault rifle from Halo just hanging out.
So, that makes sense.
And I'm sure it all will, and I'm sure it all hopefully will be pretty cool. Books to movies have always been kind of...
This one's going to be very hard to pull off, and then Spielberg's behind it, right?
I think so.
So
at least attached if not directing.
Yeah, hopefully it will be good. I'm so excited, and I hope they do a good job of it. I like the actor. The actor that's playing the main guy, he played Cyclops in the newer XMen.
Oh, damn!
I believe that's cool. The actor. So.
Yeah, I didn't even know that because you don't even see any of the characters really in the trailer.
Yeah. And then the girl, the lead girl in it, I believe she was the girl from the Bates Motel show, that the one that had then it ended up marrying like Norman's brother, and she like had the lung disease and stuff like that in the beginning. Did you ever watch Bates Motel?
No.
It was good.
It looked good. I like the idea of it. Cool premise.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. In terms of anything else, future recent announcement. There's an actor they've got to play Nightwing apparently in the Nightwing movie. They haven't really said if it's going to be DC Universe connected though, which I kind of would like it to be, just to get Nightwing like in the Justice League or hanging out with Ben Affleck or whatever. But if it's not, I don't know the actor at all. I haven't seen anything he's been in.
I can't see them doing anything that big and not making a part of it.
You say that, but they've also just announced the Harley and Joker romance movie that has a different actor playing the Joker.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think
it has a different actors playing Harley too. I wouldn't mind a better
you do it as like an animated film or something, but to do it as a major motion picture, and this is the problem that we're getting into, and all of you know this, and we talk about all the time. We're superheroed out. You know, they has to be mind blowing to even catch our attention anymore.
No, I'd like to see something.
And it would be nice if there was a bit of a break. I definitely want to get through the Justice League, and I'm super excited for Infinity War. Yeah. The Marvel movies to me, for the most part, are all really good. They've created a wonderful universe. I'm really excited.
Probably just give TV a break, because even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of...
Yeah. It's just well, the problem is like they're trying to fit all these storylines into a singular storyline that just doesn't work. And in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I wasn't overly impressed with the Ghost Rider stuff. So.
Yeah, we'll see how Nightwing goes. I don't know. I've always been on the fence about a Nightwing movie because I feel like you've got to really build up.
You have to build
grace
it up.
and love
Yeah.
with something. But the way they've got Batman already with no Robins, but some dead Robin that we know nothing about that may or may not be the Joker and may or may not be Tim Drake or Jason Todd or, I don't know. If anything, if they do a Batman movie, they keep saying they've got a script, they don't have the script, they threw out the script, they burned the script, they wrote a new script, they tore up the script, they put it in the shredder, they made a new one, back and forth, whatever.
Sounds like Ghostbusters.
Ben Affleck's writing it, Ben Affleck's not writing it, Ben Affleck's not Batman anymore. It's back and forth all over the place.
Yeah.
But they just need to, honestly, I want to see that story. I want to see how Joker killed Robin. I want to see Batman finding this Robin.
But it takes so much to get to that point. And I don't think that they could do it justice. That took years of comic stories and all sorts of stuff. Like, we grew up with those stories.
Even if they skipped us him getting Robin. If it was just him and he had, if it's Tim or Jason or Damien or whatever, I don't care.
Flashback scene.
Just Batman and Robin, it's before Batman v Superman, and it's him versus the Joker, and Joker kidnaps and goes all death of the family on him, whatever. But, I don't know. That's just me hoping the movie's not bad if they ever actually get a new Batman movie out. I like Ben Affleck. I think he's a great Bruce, but
I think it's fine.
It needs a good story. If they don't do that, they've got to do something else big and crazy. It can't just be some B-list villain. It can't be Joker again unless it's a good storyline.
Yeah.
Because even as much as Dark Knight's amazing, that Joker didn't have. I mean, I know that's his whole thing. Is he doesn't have a plan. He's just messing around for the sake of putting a bomb in a boat and killing a couple thousand people.
Which was my least favorite part of the whole movie.
Exactly, it just, But when we have a Batman that's, actually being a detective, and he's actually, planning and orchestrating these crazy ideas because he's Bruce Wayne, you need to face him against a real Riddler or, a Penguin.
That's one I think that could work, is if they did the Riddler properly.
But they've got to do him
not Jim Carrey, but
But they need to go Arkham Asylum, the video games, where he's putting saw contraptions together and torturing people to try to outsmart the Batman.
Yeah.
That would be.
Well, it could work in that gritty universe too, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It would. That would be pretty sweet. So Ben Affleck, if you want somebody to help you write a Batman script, hit us up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Black Mask, even they could do a good gangster story or a
but
gang
he's not a well enough known character. You gotta hit up one of these.
Yeah, that's true. Black Mask would have to be a gang war between Black Mask and the Penguin.
Yeah, even the way I don't mind the way they did Bane in the third one, but
But it wasn't Bane.
It wasn't Bane.
No.
Of course it wasn't, but it's it was all right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with all these new things, and you were on Nightwing, so
yeah,
it's hopeful though. It still has to even get to that next level. Mm-hmm. We'll actually get to that level. We still got a whole bunch of other stuff to come out long before that. We've got the Star Wars. This winter, man. We'll see.
Episode 8 coming up in a few months.
We'll see what Luke Skywalker does. We get to see Snoke.
Maybe figure out how Rey's related to some character, if anybody.
So, Star Wars, big deal right now. It's one of those things that they had some production issues, or the director for the Han Solo film got fired or something. So
yeah, they got a new one for Han Solo. They just announced there's a new director too it's J.J. Abrams now directing Episode 9 after somebody else was directing it.
Yeah, no, let's.
Or no, not J.J. Abrams. Is it J.J.? Yeah, J.J.
I think
Abrams.
that's what I heard, something like that. So
I mean, he did fine with 7, so we'll give him 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we jumped into tabletop game. Any other games you've been playing lately?
Tabletop gaming, HeroClix is our big one. You know, we're all big on our HeroClix, and we're still waiting for our local store to get some of the new Guardians of the Galaxy Dice Masters in.
I haven't played any Dice Masters.
So I haven't played any of that. You know, the new HeroClix stuff is great. Really looking forward to Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls coming out.
That comes out
and
late October.
Late October, early November.
So
there's
by next episode.
Ragnarok movie set coming out for HeroClix. That should be fun. For board games and stuff, newer stuff that I've played, I picked up a really fun little game called One Deck Dungeon. Just so you can play it in co-op, or you can do just one of the little mini kind of games. It's worth checking out. Really fun. I'm a huge fan of Hero Realms.
Yes,
Hero Realms is a great game. A good, just little sit down, two people battle kind of game. It's much better, I find, in just a two-person versus than actually. I haven't tried a 4-player.
It gets a little convoluted with 3.
3's tough. Any of these type of games I find are really tough when you have 3 people. HeroClix especially, like, just because there's always a ganging up element to them, right?
But it is nice with Hero Realms because it's so hard finding a good board game that is really good with just 2 players, that isn't like a collectible game like HeroClix and Dice Masters. Because you try to play like, just to throw a board game out there, Monopoly or something with 2 people, you're there for hours, and it's not interesting.
Hero Realms is quick and dirty.
Hero Realms is really put together that way. If you guys haven't heard about it, it's a, I think it was Kickstarted originally. It's a deck building style game, fantasy kind of universe. You get monsters and weapons, and you just beat
There's a sci-fi version that came out. It's called Star Realms.
Yep, you're a spaceship in that one. Again, kind of thing. Get weapons and crew members and beat each other up, but it's
nice, quick,
fun,
15 to 20, half an hour matches, games.
Really easy to learn, small little box. You can bring it on any family camping trip or whatever.
Yeah. We'll bring some examples on future episodes and stuff like that of some of these that we talk about.
For sure.
So this is a learning opportunity for us as well.
Board game, for me, lately I played a really awesome game that I love that I've purchased last Christmas, I think. That doesn't matter. That I love playing with friends. It's called Letters from Whitechapel. It's a kind of isometric, semi-cooperative game where I think it's a 6-person total or 5-person total. One person plays as Jack the Ripper. Everybody else plays as police officers. I need to play this one with you guys still because it's fantastic. And you got if you ever played Scotland Yard, it's a similar style to that where there's different squares on the board that the police officers can move on and different ones that only Jack can move on. It's put up into 4 nights. Night starts when Jack murders a prostitute, and the goal is to try to find him without knowing where he is on the board before he gets to his hideout at the end of the 4th night. And it's super sweet. If the police officer character people can all actually cooperate and get some clues as to what direction he's going, it's really easy to find where Jack is, but if you can just make them start arguing about something, throw a little bit of doubt in one of their minds, Jack can just sneak away in the shadows nice and easily. So if you got a couple friends you want to check that one out with. I'm a sucker for cooperative games at all. My other favorite one that's been my favorite for years was another Kickstarter called Sentinels of the Multiverse. Being a huge superhero fan, it's kind of an RPG. Kind of feels, if you're really into any MMORPG games where you've got like World of Warcraft always hits me with having your 5-person group going through a dungeon. It kind of feels like that, but in a superhero game where you're fighting one boss villain. There's 30 characters to choose from. They've each got their own style and play type and kind of role. You got your tanks taking all the damage. You got your damage dealing DPS characters that just blow stuff up, and you can get some support characters to heal people and help them draw cards faster. Great 5-person cooperative way to just, the villain, you just look at the top card of their deck. They've got different abilities and stuff that they all do too, but super sweet. Check that one out as well if you guys have some time to kill and some money to blow. There's 4 or 5 expansion packs now. I've bought them all as they came out for $20 each. So if you wanted the full game now, you're probably looking at like $200. So maybe just get the starter pack and see how you like it first. But yeah, if you like superheroes, you like role playing, it's fun. I need to cosplay that one. There's some characters in there that'd be pretty sweet. They did actually the Greater Than Games, the company that made it, was at a comic expo Chicago, I want to say, not long ago. They had a contest of just their characters cosplayed. Some pretty sweet people.
I should check that out. That's cool.
I don't think there's any other board games I'm excited for that are coming out recently or soon or that I need to check out.
I kickstarted a game, Dungeon Dice, so I'm waiting on that to show up. So
well,
hopefully it will get here before Christmas. It's apparently like kind of a RPG element dungeon rolling dice game. So that's what a lot of what One Deck Dungeon is like. It's just a simple play RPG style. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to Dungeon Dice. Yeah, so hopefully that shows up soon. I get to try it out.
And we'll get a chance to do a opening video of that or a how to play video or something for you guys. But yeah. I don't think anything else is coming in. TV shows, we get some new stuff coming soon with our CW stuff. Gotham, we had the season premiere last week. Again, that's just kind of, it's been hit and miss. I've been enjoying it a lot more lately than the first season.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes with the new.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna go kind of full year one Batman or what they're gonna do.
They've said he's not gonna have the full Batman costume in the show. So I wonder if this will be the last season, because he's already got a balaclava and some armor going on. But we'll see. We got Ra's al Ghul. If you've seen the first episode, Scarecrow's back, and which is weird. We haven't seen Jonathan Crane since season 1, and I liked kind of how they did the gas. I got the hiccups now. Drinking I don't think it was a bad idea.
I think it looked really good. The Scarecrow scene looked good.
Yeah.
So.
Penguin's cool. Kind of sad to see Nigma frozen because he was one of the best parts, but we did kind of have a little too much Nigma. So I'm sure he'll be back because he's just there in Iceberg Lounge. I did definitely have a bit of a nerd attack when Penguin first started mentioning at the end of the last season buying a bar and making it the Iceberg Lounge, and just gave me all good Batman tingles all over. So we'll see. But one thing about that show that I still don't like, one thing that just bugs me, is Victor Zsasz. And I don't think they can fix it now, but Zsasz in the comics and the video games has always just been so, like, he's a loner. Like, he's supposed to be really good at killing people, but he's like your loner serial killer doing his own thing, not associating with any of the other criminals. And his key character trait is that whenever he kills somebody, he like carves a tally mark with his knife into his body somewhere. So he's got like tallies all over, head to toe. And if they had at least had him counting his victims since season 1, I could maybe let that pass. But he's just been a hitman. And I don't know. I love the actor. I love how the character is super interesting to watch. I don't know. I almost wish it was a different character. They could have made it like, I don't know, if they could have made it anybody else. Make it Slade Wilson. You know, that would have made sense. Not really, because he wouldn't have been involved with gang warfare. But you know what I mean. Like, it could be, they could have made up a character. It could have, I guess they already kind of had Black Mask, but it could have been somebody else leading up towards that, or I don't know. Whatever. That's just my nerd rant. Anything else you want to rant about, rave about?
I don't think so.
Rants and raves. Oh, that would be a great name for a segment that we already finished because we just ranted and raved about all the TV shows. Stay tuned for next episode where we have rant and rave segment.
Yeah, might set up some sections next time or something. More
organized segments, some cool graphics. Just kidding, I can't do CG effects at all.
Oh, you guys, we want to try this out, have some fun with it. If you have any suggestions, feel free to send us some comments. Please give us a listen, give us a watch, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook. with the collectible curators, KCKC. And we'll see you guys next time. Keep on collecting. Peace out.